This is NDTV, and you're watching Classics.
Aamir Khan, thank you very much for joining me on Talking Heads.
It's a pleasure.
Now tell me, as an actor, is it very important that the first film of the year does well? I mean, you normally have one film, but this year you have four. So was it important for you personally that Sarfarosh did well?
Yeah, of course. I mean, not because it's the first film of the year, but because each film that I do is important to me. And so I'd like all my films to do well.
When you signed Sarfarosh, when John came to you with the script, were you that confident about the film at that very moment, that the way the film has turned out, would it be the same when you heard the script?
Well, when I heard the script, I liked the script very much. And at that point of time, I had no idea as to what the business of the film would be. But when I heard the script, I felt that it dealt with certain issues which are contemporary and which need to be addressed, through cinema, so that a larger audience can start thinking about these issues. And that is the reason that I wanted to do the film. So I didn't think of the box office only when I heard the script of Sarfarosh, and when I wanted to do the film. It was a film that I wanted to do from my heart. It was a film that I wanted to be involved with, a film that I wanted to support.
Were you aware of the political implications of the film?
Of course, of course. That's why I did the film.
You seem to be in the last few years working with a lot of new directors. Vikram got his first major break with you, and then even Dharmesh, I mean, before Raja Hindustani, people didn't know him as much as they do now. Yeah. John over here, then you're doing a film with Deepa, who's not a new director, but it's called it's an experimental genre. So is that a conscious decision that Aamir Khan has taken of promoting new talent, or it's just happened coincidentally?
No, I'm not consciously trying to promote new talent or anything like that. When I am approached by a director, I take it on the value of that particular project with that particular director at that point of time. And I'm trying to work with directors whom I respect, whose work I've liked, or who, if they have not made a film before, like John, whom I trust and I feel will make a good film.
Coming back to Sarfarosh, Aamir, that were you, when you did the film, when in the process of filming the film, and during discussions and stuff like that, so were you, at any point in time, were you skeptical about the response to the film? Did you feel that it would create a controversy? Do you think it would not be accepted by people? Was that a real fear?
No, that was never a fear. I think that was never a fear because I genuinely felt that Sarfarosh is a film which is dealing with these very sensitive issues. However, the script and the film has a very positive attitude. It doesn't fire you up or charge you up negatively. Rather, it brings a positive feeling within you as you view the film, and as you complete viewing the film, you feel positive about what has been discussed on screen. It deals with the ISI, the proxy war that Pakistan is fighting through the ISI. But it doesn't indulge in name calling. It doesn't say that all Pakistanis are bad, because that's a ridiculous statement. I mean, you have human beings all over the world, and some people are good and some people are bad. Or some people have their reasons for doing something which is not right, which could be quite unreasonable. Some people have an evil bent of mind. So it doesn't indulge in name calling on a general level to begin with. And what it does say is that, violence is bad and terrorism is bad, and anybody indulging in that is not doing the right thing. So now when there is an attempt through the ISI of creating violence over here, it also generates a feeling of distrust towards Muslims living in the country. Which is quite understandable because it is human nature. So the film tries to take a very positive attitude towards that and tells all us Indians that one should not look at all Muslims with distrust. All Muslims do not feel disloyal towards India as their country. There is a certain section of Muslims living in the country, I believe, who do have their loyalties towards Pakistan. And this film tries to tell them that this is not right and they shouldn't do that. So it tells that section of Muslims, which I believe is a minority, who do have their loyalties towards Pakistan, that is not the right thing to do. It tells that section of Hindus, which again I believe is a minority, which looks upon all Muslims with distrust.
Do you think, being a Muslim, have you faced this yourself?
To a certain extent, definitely. In my personal life?
Yeah, in your
yes,
personal life.
certainly. Because of what has been happening in the country, socially speaking, over the last decade or so, primarily in the early 90s, is probably the cause of a person like John writing a script of this nature, which deals with these issues. People who are radicals and right wings in all communities have been having a field day. So we need people who are more balanced to come out and speak publicly about this.
Your other film also deals about, Deepass Earth.
Yeah.
It also deals about the Hindu-Muslim problem, but in a different way, I suppose.
Deepa's film is about the partition. It's not about now. It's only about 1947. It's about what happened at that time. And there have been a number of films made on the partition. What is fresh about Deepa's film is that it doesn't view, it doesn't take a look at the entire partition. It just focuses on one group of people and what happened to them during the partition.
You do very few films. You pick up projects with a lot of care, and you're rumored to be like saying, okay, after 3 months I'll hear your script, and then you sit down for the script and you hear it and then you sign it. So does it put too much of pressure on you, being this perfectionist to the core, or is it second nature for you?
Actually, there's no pressure on me. I'm just first of all, let me tell you, I think I'm doing much more work than I ought to be doing at this point of time.
Even with like just 2 films on the floor?
Yeah, I don't like to do 2 films simultaneously. What I would ideally like to do is work in 1 film at a time, complete that film and then move on to the next film. I'm working towards it. Let's see if that gets...
Isn't that a scary proposition?
No, it's not. It's not scary at all. That's how I enjoy working. And going by what is the norm in the Hindi film industry, it is unusual to work that way, and a lot of people feel that there is a lot of risk factor involved in that. But I don't think I've ever looked at the risk factor. This is the way I would like to work. I'm doing films which I'm happy with, and that doesn't worry me at all. I'd be worried if I was not happy about what I was doing.